Hey everybody, welcome to the Sky Lounge. This is Piggyskin Picks, where I pick the winners and losers of the upcoming NFL week. And ladies and gentlemen, in less than 24 hours, our first game of the 2020 season will be upon us. It's amazing. But it's finally here. Some NFL football. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah. And last season, the 2019 season, my overall, guessing after 17 weeks was about 60%. We had highs, we had lows, we had mediums. And the average medium became 60%. Hoping 2020 season is a bit different, a bit better. Maybe we shoot for that good old 70. But we're going to see how this goes. And it goes with the first game in the Houston Texans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And I believe the Chiefs win that game. Now, I did place a little bit of a wager on this game. It's a little bit of a two-teamer. Houston Texans at +9 and the over on that game at 54.5. Let me explain the reason why. It's a season opener. I don't really think defense is going to be the top priority in the general scope of the game, and there will be easy touchdowns given here and there. And towards the tail end, I think, yes, the Chiefs will ultimately carry the win. That's why I picked the Chiefs to win this game. But Deshaun Watson is going to keep the Texans alive and keep Bill O'Brien still in a job. Why do you hate Bill O'Brien? Because he sucks! He fucking sucks! He's a shitty head coach. We saw that last season against the Chiefs. Oh, you have a 24 fucking something lead. Let's just blow it in a quarter. You can blame certain players, sure, but look at Bill O'Brien on that entire shit. Just an absolute shit show. Yeah. Andy Reid doesn't lose in September, so there's that whole little factor going into it. So Chiefs with the win in that game, and we move on in to Sunday, where we are going to have just an array of games for us, just so we can eat up on. And it starts with the Cleveland Browns taking on the Baltimore Ravens. And I do think the Ravens win this game, but Cleveland at +8.5 seems like a pretty good bite. I don't think they're going to get smacked around, like their home opener, well, technically home opener in last season, right? Against the Tennessee Titans, where they got their fucking ass stomped with that super hyped up offseason, acquisitions and fucking team. But I think the Ravens, as good as they are, they might take a step or two back. Yes, they do have Calais Campbell. Yes, they still have a pretty good chunk of that defense still intact. But the Browns have made subtle, moves in the offseason, adding, depth in the linesmen. Also, having a guy like maybe Greg Stefanski can actually help their endeavor in beating their AFC North rivals. But again, I think the Ravens ultimately win the game, but the Cleveland Browns will probably cover at +8.5. So let's move on into the next game, where we have the New York Jets taking on the Buffalo Bills. And I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. Plus, you have the -6.5 for the Bills, which I think they will easily cover. And in my mind, there is going to be a question of, is there going to be any mercy? Because I think the Jets are a perennial dumpster fire that no matter what happens, no matter how many good things happen, something will always butt fumble itself to make it miserable. That's just how shit goes with the Jets. As for the Bills, I think they're going to have the best defense in the league. But Josh Allen is going to have to take that next step. Obviously, during the wild card, where we saw just this extremely hot and cold nature of how he played through an entire game, was fully on display. And I think if we can just take that next step from that inconsistency to some form of decent consistency, maybe the Bills get to that next level. I'm pretty sure there's going to be salty Bills fans. You're fucking wrong. Josh Allen's the great. All right, dude, whatever then. The fuck did he choke all that goddamn fucking momentum in the goddamn game in the wild card then? Fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. Let's move on. The Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'm taking the Raiders. Yes, I'm taking the Las Vegas Raiders. John Gruden's New Vegas Raiders. at -3. Not bad. Bit iffy just because, yes, you do have Christian McCaffrey. Teddy Bridgewater isn't a bad quarterback at all, but the reality of the Carolina Panthers right now seems to be they are in a rebuild. Are they going to be all that good? Who the hell knows? Something about the Las Vegas Raiders that not a lot of people talk about is, because of their relatively mediocre record, is that John Gruden was coaching this team up really well towards the tail end of last season. And maybe he's able to carry that momentum. I'm going to assume that because obviously we don't have any fucking data and observational, insights with preseason or any of that shit. So thanks, Kung Flu. Doing some guessing work here. So Las Vegas Raiders for the win in that game. And let's move on into the next game. Oh my God, the Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions. Against my better judgment, I'm picking the Detroit Lions. And them at -3 is just a bit awful to bite down on, but I just might do it. But there's really nothing to say about this fucking game, to be honest. Bears fans, Mitch Trubisky is QB1. I shit on Matt Stafford all the time, but come on, man. Come on, man. They don't even fucking compare. Holy shit. It's like Matt Stafford is Sam's Club and Mitch Trubisky is 99-cent store. And yes, Sam's Club isn't all that good. That's the point I'm trying to fucking make to you people. But I just have a weird feeling Matt Patricia is just going to finesse himself into a weird fucking win. That's just my guess in this game. And yeah, probably just going to catch up with the stats on this one. I don't really want to watch a disastrous fucking battle between the Bears and the Lions. Gross. But what's going to be even grosser is the Colts taking on the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Not London, actual Jacksonville. And I think the Colts win it. Phillip Rivers' first game as a Colt, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are just a fucking train wreck. And listen, -7.5 for the Colts seem like a pretty decent mercy kill number. I feel like the Colts will go harder than that shit. Probably a double-digit blowout. Because Jacksonville is shit. It's absolute dog shit. I mean, Jalen Ramsey gone, Yannick Ngakoue gone, Calais Campbell gone, Allen Robinson gone, gone. It's the gone team. So, Colts, I believe, will get the win there. And let's move on into the next game where you have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. And I think the Green Bay Packers at +2.5 looks delicious. And I think the Packers will actually win that game as underdogs. It's curious because piece by piece, you would think the Vikings actually do look better. But some way, somehow, regular season Dirk Cousins just might show up. Now, again, I could be wrong because we did see Dirk Cousins break all narratives against the Saints. But let's be fair, the Saints always have a narrative of choking on their fucking own dick. But we're back into the regular season. We're back into Rodgers versus Cousins. And right now, all things considered, I'll probably take the Packers. But +2.5, hey, Packers could still lose. I'm biting that number, and I'll take the Packers to win that shit. Why not? It's that mental factor of, try to beat Big Brother. Sometimes you can't, even at his lowest. Sorry, Vikings, that's just bitter reality for you. Sometimes you have to be honest. And let's be honest about the next game, kids. The Miami Dolphins taking on the New England Patriots. You know the Patriots are going to win. New England at -7 is a terrible number in my eyes. I would take Miami, the opposing end, with +7 on that end because despite the fact that, you're going to start Fitzmagic as QB1 and, the Tua train doesn't really start up, the Dolphins have gotten, significantly better overall as a team. Depth has been, cashed in with a lot of, decent pieces. And for me, this is going to come down to how Cam Newton plays. Will he be able to, show that dominant form under Bill Belichick? Who knows? But yeah, I wouldn't really take the Patriots on the points. Probably the Dolphins, yet curious. Very curious. Brian Flores was the one who kind of broke the fucking, straw on the camel's back, so to speak. Week 17, recall. Fitzmagic destroying the Patriots. So there's that weird if factor. I'm taking the Patriots to win that game. And in the next game, the Seattle Seahawks, my Seattle Seahawks, taking on the Atlanta Falcons. I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks. Now, kids, one rule about me, I don't bet on my own teams. I don't. I just don't. That's just something I don't want to do. But if right now, this weekend, you want to go bet something -2 on the Seattle Seahawks, easy. That's an easy money you should just fucking throw out there. Although, it does come with a caveat. Pete Carroll's record against Dan Quinn is 2-2. Yeah. Ever since Dan Quinn became a head coach, Pete Carroll's record against Dan Quinn is 2-2. So that's not all that reassuring. Yet, on paper, these motherfuckers in the Seahawks should beat the goddamn Falcons. Yet, always some fucking bullshit happens. So, let's see how that goes. Although, I do have faith in Russell Wilson and that defensive back unit that just looks so delicious. We'll see how that one goes, kids. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles will be taking on the Washington Redskins. And the Philadelphia Eagles, I believe, wins that. And -6, what a beauty. That shit's going to be a wreckage. Why? Because the Redskins are dead. The Deadskins, the Washington football team. I don't give a fuck what the hell they're called. They're trash. Every week you see the Washington fucking Redskins, the Washington football team, that should automatically count as a win for the opposition. They're going to have no fans ever during this entire season, and they just exist to exist. So, Eagles with the win on that one. Fuck you, Dan Snyder, you fucking idiot. And that entire organization. You can go fuck yourself. Oh, we're not the Redskins anymore. All right, dude. Fuck you. Let's move on into the next game. The LA Chargers will be taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Bengals will win to start off the new era of Joe Burrows. And +3 for the Cincinnati Bengals is something that I'm definitely going to go in on. There's a part of me that thinks the Chargers are going to be one of the worst teams in the league. Obviously, injury to Derwin James is going to be significant. Tyrod Taylor at QB1, sure. Why the hell not? I mean, Justin Herbert probably pops in there maybe by week 3 or 4 by all accounts. And then we just see your constant yet just assured trajectory downwards. And yeah, I don't really have faith in the Chargers. The Bengals, however, I feel like they can turn it around. Now, for me, I look at the Bengals and think, hey, you're going to be able to stop anything on defense? Because I remember last season was pretty shitty. So that's going to be the ultimate test for the Bengals this upcoming weekend on Sunday. So that's going to be a very interesting match to see. Moving on to the next game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Ooh, the battle of the AARP. Ah, yes. Tom Brady and his Buccaneers and Drew Brees and his kneeling Saints. I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That +3.5 looks fantastic. And something about the Saints always choking at the worst fucking times. And one of the worst fucking times I feel that's going to come on Sunday is, hey, you got a new fucking division face in Tom Brady and the Buccaneers gang. And you are at home with no fans. And let's see what this champion of the offseason can do in front of your fucking face. And yeah, I think the Saints choke within that regard. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a curious case because I don't really think their defense is going to be really all that up to snuff, yet their offense seems like they are going to do really well for about 9 weeks. And then just maybe peter out during, weeks 10 through 17. That's just me. Now, despite the fact that you have the entire 2017 Pro Bowl there are going to be some questionable moments for the Buccaneers. Is Tom Brady still, that mad lad with the gun? I don't know. Will Drew Brees revert back to, derpy meme form, which is usually just throwing up interceptions and choking his team's chances left, right, and center? Who knows? But I think the Buccaneers will win this game, and I'm taking them as my pick here, boys and girls. Now, the Arizona Cardinals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going with the upset. I'm picking the Arizona Cardinals. I like the +7 here. And something about the fact that people don't really factor in the Super Bowl hangover is absolutely ridiculous. I think the San Francisco 49ers, as good as they still are, I don't think they're going to be ready for the Cardinals and their kind of renewed roster. And I think Kyler Murray, year 2, is going to be a very, very interesting watch. He was fantastic the latter half of, last season, where he just got everything just kind of together. And as a Seattle Seahawks fan, I saw that firsthand in the match against Seattle. What was it, like week 15 or 14? I can't fucking recall the exact week. But Kyler Murray is evolving. And I think in this scenario against the 49ers, who are obviously still probably heartbroken by the Super Bowl loss, I think the Cardinals can take advantage and stomp on their fucking hearts while they're down. So, taking the Cardinals to win that game. Now, Sunday Night Football, we have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the LA Rams in Los Angeles with no fans in that new SoFi Stadium, and I think the Dallas Cowboys win this game. The Rams seem like an overpaid carcass of useless talents, and as for the Dallas Cowboys, as long as you just fucking play up to your talent, boys, you can actually win. Did you know that? Oh my God. Like, the Cowboys are one of the most fucking star-studded rosters in the NFL. Yet when they fail miserably. I think Mike McCarthy will bring some form of consistency. Maybe at the tail end of the season, it's like a 9-7 record. But I think relative to Jason Garrett, you're going to be off to a much better start, relatively speaking. But what's the difference between 55 and 60? Not that much. But still, it's initially and seemingly a lot, significant of a difference. But to me, this is a battle between two teams that are pretty similar in terms of outlooks for the end of the season, at both sitting at 9-7. But I think in the end here, I think the Cowboys will get the win. And yes, motherfucker, Dak Prescott is better than Jared Goff. Although the mental aspect, I do question Dak Prescott more than Jared Goff. But that's just my humble opinion, kids. And that humble opinion leads us into Monday Night Football. 2 games on Monday Night Football. The Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the New York Giants. I believe the Steelers win that game. And you know what? The Steelers at -6.5 is a bit steep, but I'm willing to take that. Because there's nothing really to be fucking excited about if you're a Giants fan, are you? I know Daniel Jones year 2 is going to be an interesting watch, but overall, throughout the team, what is there to fucking look out for? Is the defense any good? Is that O-line going to get better? I don't know. There's a lot of question marks and not a lot of whole answers to. Although you have Joe Judge as a new head coach, so maybe it could be a bit of a different philosophy, different culture brewing around. But yeah, I think the Steelers will win this one. As for quarterback, probably big old Ben Roethlisberger is going to be there. But yeah, don't really know. The Giants can pull out of that one. Probably the Steelers with a big win. And finally, the Tennessee Titans will be taking on the Denver Broncos for the last game of the week. I think the Titans will win this. And they had the Titans at -2.5. Curiously enough, a day before that, yesterday when you went to the sportsbook, it was Tennessee at 2.5, +2.5, because before that, Von Miller wasn't injured. And Von Miller being out for the season is going to really hamper and derail, I believe, the positive direction the Denver Broncos could have gone to. Now, Drew Lock can still do great things in year 2, but that defense needs to have a leader. And Von Miller was that, and not having him is going to be pretty significant. So, boys and girls, there you go. Those are my picks for week 1. So let's list off who I think are going to win their first games in NFL week number 1. I have the Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Detroit Lions, much to my reluctance, the Indianapolis Colts, the Green Bay Packers, the New England Patriots, the Seattle Seahawks, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Arizona Cardinals, the Dallas Cowboys, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Tennessee Titans. So, boys and girls, let me know what you think. Follow me at the Sky Lounge on all the links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily contents. Now, fuck off. Football is